Hey, good morning. You guys, we're almost halfway through the month. How amazing is that? I'm Jen Powder. We've had so many new women come into this community, so I am grateful that you are here. If you're, I'm here 3 times a week answering questions on Facebook, so if you have them, you need to ask them because there's no dumb questions when it comes to this topic, right? Weight loss, health, all of that sort of stuff. And I wanted to talk, so I'm doing a ton of research on self-sabotage. I mean, I already, wrote a book. However, I'm also a keynote speaker on this subject. And so as I think about creating my first and, a new style of a keynote, I wanted to share a couple of definitions around self-sabotage. And basically, self-sabotage is when you want something and then you act and behave in ways that are completely contra to you ever getting what you want. So there's like a part of you, so it's like we have like 2 parts. Imagine if you could see me and another version of me side by side, and I'd be like, oh, I would just love to have such a happy, loving, fulfilling relationship. And then this other part of me is like, I'm going to be a passive aggressive, woman today and totally believe that I don't deserve any love and push them away. So here there's one part of you that wants something and there's another part of you that is going to behave in a way that you never get it. I see this with weight loss all the time. There's, a part of you that, I want to feel better. I want to have more energy. And then there's another part of you that's like, I'm never going to let you have what you want or get what you want. And what's interesting is when it comes to self-sabotage, I heard this from JP Sears and I love it. There's basically 2 kinds of people. There's those who know that they're self-sabotaging, and then there's those who are in denial about it. They don't even realize that they are because it has simply become a way of being. And I just thought that was brilliant because at the end of the day, this was me a long time ago. I had an inner critic that I had become so identified with that I just thought it was me. I thought it was who I was. I thought it was how I am. We might even, check your vocabulary. Have you ever just been like, well, that's what I do. That's who I am. That's just me. Well, no, it's just the way you've been. And most of the ways that we've been have been from habit. And the habit that all of us are engaging in, whether we know it or not, is the habit of protecting our emotional energy. So anytime you do something new and different, there's a threat. Okay. Your brain sees it as a threat being posed to you, and it goes, oh my God, this is scary. She has no idea how to handle this. Is risky. Let's just keep her stuck in that familiar but horrible comfort zone that she's in, because that way we're keeping her safe, right? And so that's what self-sabotage is. It's the desire to stay safe and wrapped up and protected is a stronger pull than the desire to risk forward. So one of the things we talk a lot about in the Weight Loss Academy is how to risk forward. And you'll hear me say that it is so much easier to behave yourself into new habits than it is to think your way through them. The behavior is what generates the result. So I know that I wanted to talk about a little bit about holiday sweets and treats. And, I've been speaking to women every day. And you want to know what the number 1 word I hear is? Anybody have a guess? If you have a guess, throw it into comments. Maybe I can actually see them. Oh, good morning. Hi. What's the number 1 word people say that they want to feel or how they want to be this Christmas? Anybody know? Control. I want to feel like I'm in control. I want to have more control. I want to be controlled with how I consume something, how I want to have control with alcohol. I want to have control. Hey, good morning. Oh, I'm glad you guys are here. So I'm just going to make sure I can see. There we go. Okay, great. I can now see. Oh, Dawn, good morning. It's so nice to see you here. Now I just did this. And Amanda, hi. I got to turn this off. I can't see the comments otherwise. Jamie, hi. Okay, where's my volume on that? There we go. Now I can see comments here. I need control. Cooked so many sweets. Amanda, okay, this is great. This Facebook Live is for you. So when we're saying that we need control, the way I interpret that is, oh God, I need to trust myself better, right? So control is around we want control because control is a symptom of actually having decent trust with yourself. And most of us have been in the habit of breaking our own trust. And I'm making sure I can go back and see comments, you guys. Okay, great. I can now. From you, Dia, you think the root, for you, it's peace. You want peace around it. So a lot of times we've gotten into the habit of being out of control. And when I hear women say, I'm just out of control, like once I start, I just can't stop. Once we're in the habit of that as well. And so your brain goes, that's just what I do. That's just who I am. That's just how I handle these situations. And you're only handling that situation because that's how you've handled it in the past. And so it's very familiar, right? So, we've done all the things. We've made a gingerbread house. We've done the Christmas saltine cracker candy. We've made fudge. And there's this beautiful place you do get to when you practice about having that deep connection and trust with yourself. Now, the problem is we think that this should be easy. We think it should be innate. We think that we should just, be good at it, because you want it. And that's the part that's not true. I'm just getting to my comments, you guys. I want to make sure I'm answering. Oh, Margot, hi, good morning. So we want to make sure that, as you practice this, so this is a perfect example. The control and the sweets and the self-sabotage go hand in hand, because a lot of times we're trying to run before we can walk. We're trying to be further ahead than we actually are, as opposed to recognizing that there's this beautiful continuum that we need to progress upon. And I sort of, has anybody here ever gone to physio? Right? And have you noticed, or physio, or even seen a trainer, have you noticed that they progress you, that they don't give you the hardest exercises right when you come in? They warm you up. If I'm thinking of physio, they make sure you warm up. They stretch out some of the tendons. They ask you how you're feeling. And then you move in to each sequence or each rehab move, and it gets progressively harder. Why? Because you have to develop the mental skill set, the neurobiology of knowing what your body's being asked to do, and then you have to do it. And then once you do it, has anybody ever done a really hard move, either with trainer or again at physio, and then you get home and you're like, I have no idea, was it right foot up? Are my hips straight? I feel like I can't even feel my body. I know I have, right? It's like, I don't know what I did. The exact same principles are happening in the kitchen or in the pantry or on your kitchen counter with treats. It's like we want to run before we can walk. And so if you're on a weight loss journey this year, this Christmas, or you're practicing weight maintenance, then this comes down to boundaries. When we are out of control, we are also out of integrity. We have also got collapsed boundaries. And so you need to decide, this is okay, if I was to progress myself along a continuum, what would that continuum look like? What would feel good? We all know what it feels like to strain a muscle. Oh my God, it hurts. And then what happens? You're taken out of the rehab process until your muscle heals. And so you delay your healing. The same thing happens when you feel out of control with sweets in your house at Christmas time. Every time you consume more than you intended to consume, you've just delayed your ability to build trust with yourselves, which means you're going to stay anchored in a state of being or feeling that you're more out of control. Is this landing? If it is, then ask me a question around it, or tell me what you're hearing and what you think you might be able to do a little bit differently. Share a plan. So Amanda, for you, if you have so many sweets, part of it is going to be checking in. Okay, why did I do that? Okay, because everybody else wanted them, or I wanted some too, but where are they going in your house, right? Where are we putting the sweets? How are we managing them? What's our portions? I made shortbread last Tuesday, and we literally we have a cookie left as of this morning, because my kids know when they take shortbread, they're like little fat bombs. They take a cookie, right? A cookie. They take a thing. They take a square. They take a. And I loved it because somebody came up with the metaphor in the academy about the power of one. And you can even use this as the power of two. Everything is to the power of two, or to the power of one. Yes, you can, you have one. Yes, you can, you have two. There's a limit and there's a boundary. And it's not about deprivation or restriction here. This is about totally being powerful and deciding what's going to work for you, so that your long-term goal is actually what you're going for here. So as you work on the idea of thinking that you need to be more in control, what I want you to hear in your mind after watching this is, oh, wait. I want to trust myself. I want to start trusting myself with these things, because the beautiful thing about life is you're always going to get a new opportunity to practice, right? You have your sweets outside. It's as if I want to have any to freeze for a second to go get it, and then plan on bringing them in with us for Christmas Day so that they don't. So that's a great plan. That's totally a great plan. Anything that's in my freezer, I have to be outside in the garage. I have to be totally intentional about going to get. It's so much easier than just having it in the pantry, don't you think? Anyways, this is the journey. All of you are basically, I don't want to say like rehab and make light of addiction work, but essentially I want you to think of rehab like physio, or like you're training for something. So if you've ever trained for a marathon, if you ever trained for a race, if you've ever done 12 squats or 12 lunges, you know that you're shaky at first as your muscles figure out how you're supposed to move. What's happening here is your brain is figuring out new thoughts, a new way to approach the situation, a new way to behave, and all of that will create new outcomes. So that's it for today. I'm going to be back again tomorrow. The best thing to do right now is put your questions. If you have questions you want me to answer tomorrow, pop them into the chat so I can see. Pop them into the comments, I guess is what I mean. In the comments below, because I will be back later on tonight looking at those, and for sure tomorrow morning before I come back to you live here. Okay, have a super day, and I'm so excited to hear how you're trusting yourselves more. You trust yourself by what you do, not what you think you do, wish you could do, hope that you do, or giving yourself a way out. It's like Yoda, do not, but practice. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.